When was the last time you generally sat down and discussed what you have been feeling to your parents slash guardians?
I've discussed what I was feeling with my parents slash guardians around last week.
I don't remember the last time I had a feelings talk with my mom. I usually go to my sisters or my friends to talk about my feelings.
And I'd have to say, probably within the last couple of days, my parents and I are open, and I feel comfortable speaking to them if I had any concerns.
It was really not too long ago because I just was having a hard time, and me and my mom just sat down and talked about it.
When was the last time you genuinely sat down and discussed what you've been feeling with your parents slash guardian?
Like last week. When was the last time you generally sat down and discussed what you have been feeling to your parents slash guardians?
Last week.
So the last time was like last week because I was a little sad. But you know, we're feeling better now. I think. Yay, go me! And then, okay, now stop the video. That's one video.
If I'm being honest, it's been a minute because I don't really open up to my parents. Like every now and then we have like those sit down talks where you're like, you know, it's a good opening when you message my mom. And that's really it, but it's been a hot minute.
Hi, my name is Funke, and the last time I talked to my parents about my feelings was a few weeks ago.
The last time I sat down and talked about my feelings with my mom was kind of a while ago because we've been both pretty busy recently, but it usually does happen pretty often.
Last time I genuinely had a conversation about my emotions with my parents was a few days ago. On that day, I was just feeling a little overwhelmed and I needed to talk to them.
One is probably a couple months ago. I was going through things with people in my life, and it felt really good to be able to finally tell my mom what was happening, why I was acting so different and everything, and she was there for me, and it helped a lot just to hear her advice. The last time I sat down with my parents and talked about how I was feeling was not that long ago. I usually am able to talk to them about how I'm feeling because I go to them for advice and I have a lot of trust in them.
Okay, so I think that the last time I had a genuine talk with my parents about how I feel might have been earlier this week. I tend to talk to my parents about how I feel and like friends and stuff that's going on often. You know, I'm really happy I have that bond with them, so that's cool.
The last time I spoke to my parents about how I felt was not too long ago because I keep them pretty updated on what goes on in my life.
The last time that I genuinely spoke to my parents about how I was feeling was around 3 weeks ago. I was going through a really, really rough time and I didn't really have anybody else to turn to. Normally I talk to my friends or my sisters, but I didn't have that option at the time, so I talked to my parents about it, and they just reminded me that everything is temporary and I will get through it, and they've been there and they know what it feels like to be there. But on a day-to-day basis, we do just check in, make sure everything's okay. The last time I sat down and spoke to my parents about my feelings was yesterday. So almost every day my parents ask me what I am feeling, and I am glad to say that I am never ashamed to let them know what's going on and what my emotions are like that day.
The last time I sat down and genuinely talked about my feelings to my parents was about a month ago when I was upset. They helped me overcome it.
So, hi, my name is Delsa. So, the last time that I had a talk with my parent was definitely like a couple months ago. So, it is important that you do have more talks with your parents and make them more frequent. But the last time I had a talk with my parent was a month ago or a couple months ago.
The last time that I have genuinely sat down and had a talk with my parents about my feelings was way too long ago to remember. And this is mostly just because we're busy, and whenever we talk, we usually just don't go too in-depth about our feelings.
The last time that I discussed how I was feeling with my parents was with my mom, and I think that was last week Thursday.
Last time I sat down with my parents, I usually talk to my mom about what's going on in my life pretty often, I guess, on a day-to-day thing, but it's nothing really too serious. I did talk to them I talked to my mother last week, I think. And it was more like because like talking about both emotions and like school and like schoolwork and that type of relationship.